Hello students. In the last class we have discussed about work, and in that we have discussed about the work done by constant force and work done by variable force. Today we will be discussing that how the different forces or how the forces are classified according to the work. Now if we say that the classification of force, then they are classified into two parts. First is conservative force, while the other is non-conservative force. Now, let us discuss about conservative forces. A force is said to be conservative if work done by or against the force. Means work can be done in favor of it and work can also be done against it. In moving a body only depends on initial and final positions of the body, not on the nature of path followed between initial and final position. It means that in this forces, work that is done by this kind of force is independent of path followed by the particle, but it only depends upon its initial as well as on the final position. So now we can define it as so this is the definition for the conservative force. Now if we talk of the conservative force, if we talk in a closed path, means if I say that there is a one particle and that particle needs to move from this point B to this point A. Now a particle is following this path, and in another case the particle is following this path. Means the body is moving in a closed loop. So we can say that the work done in this complete loop is 0. Is 0. So we can say that in the conservative force, the work done along a closed loop or in a closed loop is always 0. Now, if we talk of the examples, the best example which we are acquainted is gravitational force. The gravitational force is conservative force. Now let us prove that how the gravitational force is a conservative force. In this proof, we have to take two conditions. Means if I consider that this is a landmark and I have a particle on this position of mass m. Let it mark it A, and I want to take the particle to point B. The total height between A to B is h. Now, if I say that this is the first path by which I can take particle A to point B by following this simple path. Now, if I take the same particle of mass m from position A, now instead of taking directly to B, I am taking it to first point C, then to D, then to E, and then finally to B. It means in this case the path has been changed. Now I have to prove that the work done in this path, means in the above first path as well as in the second path, is same. So if I take this green colored path as path 1 and this another path as path 2. So first I will be calculating work done along path A. If I want work, then I know that work is equals to F into S. Now, as I said that I have to prove gravitational force, so the force which has to be considered is gravitational force, that is M into G, and displacement is H. So work is mgh. This is work done in favor of gravity, because the block is coming down and the gravity is also acting downwards. Now let us talk of work done along path P2. If I talk of work done along path P2, then in this case net work, that is to move from A to B, is equal to work from A to C plus work from C to D plus work from D to B. This is the net work from C to D plus work from D to E plus work from E to B. This is the net work done. Now I want work first from A to C. So let us calculate work from A to C. Again formula remains the same, F into S. Now in this case, if I say S, means I want the gravitational force, and when the body is moving horizontally, gravity has no work to be done. So in this case work from A to C becomes 0. Now if I talk work from C to D, again formula remains the same, F into S, and I know that in this case the force F is mg, and I consider S, that is height, from C to D be h1. So work from C to D becomes mg h1. Now I want work from D to E. Again work from D to E becomes 0, because in the horizontal force or in the horizontal motion, gravity has nothing to do. So gravity force work done is 0. Now work from E to B. Again force is mg and I have considered that height be h2. So net work done comes out to be 0 plus mgh1 plus 0 plus mgh2. Now on taking mg common, what remains is h1 plus h2, hence it becomes mgh. Now we can see that above in path 1 also work was mgh, again it comes out to be mgh. So we can say that this force is a conservative force, as work done does not depend upon the path obeyed. Now let us consider about non-conservative forces. If I talk of non-conservative forces, then the amount of work done in moving an object against a force from one point to another point depends on the path also. Means in this case the work done is dependent on path. When the work is dependent on path, then it can never be zero along a closed path, because no doubt that a body in a circular path or in a closed path has same initial and final position. But to attain a final position, it has moved some path. So it can never be zero. So now let us define it. Now, if I talk of the examples, so most of the examples of non-conservative forces are those forces which are considered as opposing forces, means the forces which opposes the motion. So examples are frictional force or force of friction, viscous force or viscosity. So these are few examples of non-conservative force. So difference between them basically is that non-conservative is dependent only on initial and final position but not on path, while non-conservative work done is dependent on path also. In conservative force, work done in a round trip or in a closed path is always zero, while in non-conservative force it is non-zero. Thank you, students.